Think of the North Korean dissident who her own father said these things would never happen in America, and now here we are.
Yeah, what about the North Korean student who went to an Ivy League school? She said that language that was being used to describe whiteness in America and how they build up this distaste and hatred for each other, the divisiveness that they were teaching in the school. She said this is right out of a North Korean playbook. The language was exactly the same as to what they spread about Americans. Now Americans are spreading it about themselves within our own borders. We are now dismantling the relationships that took decades to build. Where we are today is leaps and bounds in front of where we were 40 and 50 years ago. Our diversity, our performance in uniting as one, and our country's strength is through that we all fall under that red, white, and blue. But now that we have this communist, Marxist ideology infiltrated into the left, into the Democratic Party, they're shoving it down our throats where we now are climbing all over each other and not trusting each other. This is not a coincidence. And then when you have this reliance upon the government to save you from all of this, that is exactly what the Communist Party does. That's what Marxism does. And when you're seeing the first 100 days of this administration of what they've done, they essentially dismantled just about every single accomplishment that the Trump administration put forward. They want us to be not energy independent, but dependent. They want us back in the Paris Climate Agreement, which essentially we have the cleanest air in the world, and yet they're not letting China, they're not going after China for the filth in their country. We're looking at dismantling every bit of freedom we have. Our wages are dropping, our inflation is skyrocketing, our borders are wide open, and we got people flooding into this country, record numbers, and yet this administration is trying to blame Donald Trump for everything, and yet they want to take credit for the COVID vaccinations that have essentially happened under the Trump administration. I'd like to say something about that RNC. I know a lot of MAGA supporters distrust them. I would say to the MAGA supporters, then what are you doing to fix it? Because we are the party of Lincoln. We are the party of freedom. And if you want to go out and go against that, all you're doing is undermining it. Even President Trump says, I'm not creating a third party.